I can tell you that it shakes both the shoppers and the workers to the core. Check this out. The sign, security cameras in use. Well, some say that makes them feel protected. Others tell us they can't believe that the suspect apparently didn't care. Columbus police officers worked the scene of the shooting. It's a place where shoppers tell us the slogan, expect more, pay less, gets them inside. But people like Suzanne Porter never expected to see this.
Be more cautious, because whoever did this, anybody else could have been walking out with the person, and they could have been in harm's way as well.
People shopping here before the shooting tell us they were locked down for about a half hour, then allowed to leave from an auxiliary exit. This woman wants her identity protected. What's the worst part of this for you?
Not knowing what's going on, and then there's a person lying up there under a sheet.
While detectives worked, people like Brenda Cherry, who had just left the store, are in disbelief.
It just upsets me when I hear this kind of stuff, because there's families out there that, you going in, you just going to pick up your stuff, and next thing you know, you may be shot.
Gun violence like this across the Columbus area is hitting too close to home. Sharon Shaw works in shops in the Easton area and was surprised there have been more than 1,300 shootings and 175 homicides in the city so far this year.
That's a big number. It's a big number. I think of Columbus, Ohio being relatively, a peaceful place. That's a big number. I didn't realize it was that big.
CPD tells us the uptick in crime is not just a police issue. The homicide causing people here to reflect as we head into the holidays about how this year has impacted mental health.
If you need to talk to someone, get help, because it is a lot of mental issues going on.
Even for the detectives and officers who have worked too many scenes like this, the homicide is a reminder of what can happen on just any average Monday lunch hour. And thankful the scene was not worse. And back out here live, you can see scene tape was put across the doors here at this Target. The store tells us they do not plan to reopen tonight. No new information on the victim or the loved ones who have, whether they've been informed that, as one shopper tells me, this is somebody's family member who won't be coming home tonight. For now, we're live and on your side on the northeast side. Luann Stoya, ABC6 News.
People just have to be safe because, as you see, it doesn't matter if it's at nighttime or in broad daylight, things are going to happen.
And today it happened in broad daylight. People on a routine shopping trip witnessed something horrifying. Happened outside of a popular store in a popular part of town. A man shot dead just outside of Target in the Eastern neighborhood.
And it's left the entire community shaken as the holiday shopping season kicks off.
Well, tonight we're bringing you team coverage. Our Tom Bosco has more on a very active investigation and a very urgent search. And our Luann Stoya has reaction from people who'll never look at a shopping trip the same way again.
Well, Bob and Stacia, the scene has cleared here. Just about a half an hour ago, police investigators left this scene after they were here all afternoon. They are still looking for the person, a man, they say, who pulled the trigger on a day that the city matched a grim record.
The suspect came up and fired shots without any provocation or any type of altercation between the two.
No provocation, no fight or altercation. That's how it happened, right in front of the Target store near Easton Town Center at 11:45 Monday morning. 6 minutes later, medics were on the scene and the victim was pronounced dead. Columbus police say the two men knew each other.
What's the relationship between the two people, and were there shots exchanged or just one person doing the shooting?
It appears that only one person engaged in the shooting. We do not know what the nature of their relationship is.
Police haven't nailed down the identity of the man who was shot and killed, but they say it's not a Target employee. Investigators are looking for a suspect who drove off in a dark-colored Chevy Impala. It's another broad daylight shooting in a public shopping area. It happened twice earlier this year at Polaris Fashion Place Mall. Gunfire inside the mall sending shoppers scattering. And it happened again in the summer. Someone shot into a car that ended up here at a Polaris area salon.
Just to see another person lying dead in the street senselessly is really frustrating.
By our count, this would be the 175th homicide in Columbus, tying the record set last year. But police say it's not about the numbers, it's about the names of the dead and of those grieving.
The numbers are unfortunately what they are, but those numbers are also names. They're also people. And just my heart goes out to the families of all of these victims.
And Columbus police tell us that there was a off-duty Grove City police officer here at the time of the shooting. He apparently helped and offered aid in the wake of the shooting, and Columbus police say they expect that he'll be very helpful in the investigation as it goes on.
Right now, who has committed a heinous act against another human being who has no respect for human life. Someone lost their life today, laying in the street, and they're never coming back to their family.
A killer on the run tonight. The 175th murder in Columbus this year, this time in the middle of the day outside of a Target.
Tonight, police with a new push to help them track down the gunman and get them off the streets. Bree Buckley got the latest. That late plea from police officers tonight. Bree, what else are they telling you?
Bob Stacia, a man was shot and killed just hours ago right here in front of the Target across from Easton in broad daylight. Now police are calling for anyone that saw anything at all to help them get the shooter off the streets.
This person who committed this act is still out on the streets running loose. If they were willing to do that to someone today, what is stopping them from doing it tomorrow? And to someone else and someone else.
A plea from police after a deadly shooting outside the Target store near Easton Monday. A man gunned down while waiting out front of the store just before noon. The suspect is still on the run.
There were many people that were out there that had absolutely nothing to do with that specific situation, and it potentially could have been even worse for someone else.
Sergeant James Fuqua with Columbus Police is calling on anyone who was in the area to share any detail they may have. Something as small as a bumper sticker or the color of the suspect's shoes could potentially be the missing piece to the puzzle.
Even if you only got a partial license plate or a little bit of a description, anything that you have that you think may be a benefit, we please urge you to call us, because we will take any lead necessary, not only to solve this case, but any cases moving forward.
He says that information from the public plays a huge role in solving homicides.
Our solvability rate with homicides in general are around 50%. And there are very critical things that we need to solve homicides. We need evidence, we need eyewitness accounts, and we need forensic evidence.
Now, another interesting part, the sergeant tells me that it takes people up to 24 hours to accurately recall a traumatic or a stressful event. So if something comes to you in the next few days, he says it's not too late to reach out and give them that information. Bob, Stacia.
Bree, did Sergeant Fuqua have any advice for shoppers if they witness something like this?
Yeah, we actually talked about that, and he says that if you witness something like what happened here today, the first thing you should do is get yourself to safety, find a safe place, and then try to take down as much information as you can. Take a listen.
Be safe. Get to a safe area. Make sure you don't get yourself hurt. Secondly, once you're in a safe space and you're comfortable to do so, absolutely make sure you're aware of your surroundings and use those spidey senses that we all have as human beings to try to get as much information as you can.
Now, if you were in the area earlier today and you have information you would like to share, you can either call Crime Stoppers or reach out to the Columbus Police Detectives Unit. You can remain anonymous, and we have those numbers in the app. Bob, Stacia.